Good morning, lovers. Let's check the time again. What a pleasure to be with you today. And this is actually going to be my last Cuppa with Katie for 2 whole weeks because I'm going to Greece on Saturday. I'm taking my family summer holiday. It will be, as for many of you probably experienced the same, our first family holiday in 3 years. I can't believe it. Don't quite know how that's happened. But that's what pandemics will do for you, apparently. Anyway, we're very, very excited to go away. The packing list has begun, and I can't wait to pack the snorkels and the goggles and the masks and go explore. Hello, as you're arriving, I can see some of you coming on. Hi, Emma. Good to see you, darling. Aren't we just loving this glorious summer weather here in the UK? I am. In fact, it feels a bit strange to be leaving it. I must admit, when you have weather like this, I don't really want to leave England. The weather will be obviously amazing in Greece. But I remember this time last summer, huddled up in blankets and hoodies and dealing with the rain because it was just so horrible. So yeah, I'm really feeling blessed and loving living in England this summer. Who else is joining? Say hi as you're coming in. I can see a few of you arriving. And of course, if you're here on the replay, just type in #replay if you've got any comments or questions. If you type #replay, I'll see them and we'll be able to respond. But thanks to those of you who are here live. Let me take a sip of my tea before I get started. And by the way, some of you may well be following me on Instagram on our schoolofself.love account. We're going to be shutting that down in September. So that will cease to exist. I mean, we'll probably leave it up, but we won't be posting there from September onwards. We're doing everything over at, I've got little, how do I do that? There we go. See that? There. That's quite clever. At Katie Phillips with Love. That's where we'll be doing all of our socials from now on. I changed it up because I found that I wasn't posting on my personal account because anyway, boring. But I had 2 accounts running and I never felt aligned. It was like I was in School of Self-Love mode or I was in Katie mode. And truth be told, the School of Self-Love is nothing without me, and I just wasn't able to show up authentically and in a really aligned way. And I just realized I had to just combine the 2. So Katie Phillips with Love is the birthplace of my personal Insta and my business Insta. So come and follow me there because everything on School of Self-Love will be ending in September. You want to be over at Katie Phillips with Love. Karen, hello, my darling. And there's more of you arriving. So please, as you're saying hi, as you're arriving, say hi. Good to have you. Okie dokie. So it'll be interesting to see where today's little chat takes us. I have a bit of an idea of what I want to share because it came up on a coaching call yesterday with a client. I've got about 25 minutes before I'm on a call with my own coach. So it'll be a short one today. Let's see. I'm not very good at keeping things short and brief, am I? I'll do my best. Layla, hello, darling. Good to have you all the way from Dubai. And who's that Facebook user? Hello, darling. Nice flower. Love that. Yeah, so I was on a call yesterday. Now I'm going to keep this so that it is super confidential and I'm only going to share the relevant details. While I was speaking to this woman yesterday, when I came off the call and I was reflecting on what we spoke about, I thought, this is a thing. She's not the only woman that's experiencing this and that feels held back in her life because of this. And so I must share it. Not least, I have felt before what she was going through. So let me share what happened on this beautiful coaching call yesterday. And essentially the question from the client was, I can't connect to source. I don't have a spiritual connection. And this is a very spiritual woman who has very powerful beliefs around this idea, which I believe to be fact. Maybe you do or don't. Maybe you're making up your mind. I believe it to be fact that we are fundamentally spiritual beings here having a human experience. And it's through the experiences of our humanness our day-to-day life experiences from the moment we're born, the challenges that we come across are our opportunities for growth, and it's within the claiming of the opportunity, perhaps the healing work that's required, the move from fear, which is essentially the human experience, to love, which is essentially the spiritual experience. That choice, that movement from fear to love every single day is a movement from our humanness into our spiritual self. It's a movement from our head and our thinking and our thoughts and our ego and into our heart and a connection with love, and therefore all that is. Like, I believe that's what we're here to practice every single freaking day. And it is a practice every day. I mean, there's I'm sure there's the occasional enlightened soul on this planet. They do exist. I am absolutely not one of them. And I'm pretty sure every single person watching this right now is not one of them. We're all here experiencing our humanness, and we are being invited always to move toward love. And that movement isn't always easy. And it's definitely for the courageous and brave-hearted ones. And the invitation is to everybody. Yeah, Layla's agreeing. And of course you would, Layla, being a healer. And Carolyn's here. Hello, darling. So good to have you. Love your new profile picture, by the way. So the woman I was speaking to is a very spiritual woman. She believes that, she is first and foremost a spiritual being. She desires to be connected on a daily basis to her true self, her spiritual self, her soulful self, her higher self, whatever you want to call it. And she knows that through that connection to her true self, she is able to connect to source, God, light, love, universe, energy, right? And yet her pain point was, I know that to be true, but I can't feel it. And she said, I meditate every day. She loves my guided visualizations. There's one in particular that I share with my community called True Self. If you want access to that, post in the comments True Self and I'll get you access to it for free. The True Self meditation is a process of connecting with your spiritual self so that you can connect with source. And she's like, I do that every day, and I do other meditations every day. And she's a Reiki practitioner, and she's done all sorts of different trainings in various healing modalities. This is a woman that desires to be connected to her source. And her big, big desire is to work in the healing space. She wants to heal. Layla, this woman is actually in the Love Lounge. And if she comes forward in the Love Lounge and shares her story in there, I think she might, but I'm not going to share it here publicly. If she does, I feel like you and she could connect, by the way, because I think you could probably really help her. And she desires to be a healer. And she's not working in that space at the minute because she has this belief, and her belief was really strong, and it is, I can't connect. I can't connect. And so, hi, let me say hello to Annette. Good to have you, darling. And Layla, yeah, you guys will connect. That's awesome. So I can't connect. I cannot connect to my spiritual self. I cannot connect to source. So if I can't, how can I go and be a healer? Makes sense, right? And then we explored, so she actually wants to do some specific work with animal. I was just checking in to see if I could say this. Yes, she wants to do some work with animals. And she knows her effect on animals, and people witness her effect on animals. When she's in the company of animals, she has an openness, a peace, a calmness. That she is a healer just literally by being who she is. And it's something she hasn't claimed. And that's something, like, right there, as I say that, I'm realizing that's something that we all need to claim, is like, you being who you are in this very moment without doing anything is enough. You being you is your contribution to this world. There's something really powerful in really getting that on a deep level to help you connect in with your worthiness and your enoughness and your value in this world. It's something we really can very easily forget. Like, I'm not enough unless I'm being busy. I'm not enough unless ... Like, just you being you, sat where you are right now in this very moment, is enough. And you're meant to be here. Yeah. So yeah, Layla loves working with the animals too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. She sounds already connected to... Exactly. I really want you guys to have a conversation. So yes. So she has just her being her presence, like, is enough. Her presence is healing, right? She knows in her gut, she knows in her heart that she is meant to do this work. Like, she was emphatic about it when we were speaking. And it's where her frustration lays. Like, I am meant to do this work. I am meant to heal. I just know I am. She also kept saying, and I know I can. I know I can heal. I just, like, how do you know? I don't know. I just know. People tell me. She's had plenty of healers and different healing practitioners and clairvoyants and random people come to her with messages of, you're meant to be a healer. And that's not the work that she's doing. She's actually in a space where I know that she is doing healing work, but it's not the type that she wants to really be doing. Truth be told, when we show up as the light that we are in the world, we are healing, right? We're healing. That's an aside. So this belief that she has, I can't connect, was blocking her to giving herself permission to move into the world as a healer and to claim her rightful place as a healer. Why did she think I can't connect? She wasn't getting the obvious signs that told her I am connected. She wasn't getting the big light explosion. She wasn't hearing voices. She couldn't see her guides. She couldn't hear her angels. She wasn't getting crazy, amazing feelings rushing up and down through her body. She got nothing. And she has been so determined to get the proof and the evidence that she is connected. She needed, like, her humanness, bless her humanness, bless all of us with our humanness. Her humanness decided that unless she felt some obvious explosive feeling in her body, she wasn't connected. Unless she saw something significant. By the way, as the call went on, she did share with me how she often gets these flashes of light just in her day-to-day experience and certain things that happen for her. And it's like, she sort of dialed that out because in the moment of meditation or in the moment of healing, she wasn't getting this experience that she decided she needed to have as proof and evidence that she was connected. Because we hear a lot of these stories, right? Yes, Layla, exactly. She was looking for that confirmation, but she was looking for confirmation in a way that her mind had made up that it needed to happen. Not necessarily in the way that's true for her. And interestingly, the more that she would allow it to be her experience and detach from how it should be, actually, I mean, the detachment and the surrender and letting go of how it should be will actually probably allow her to have a more sensory experience, probably, if it's meant to happen or not. But doesn't mean that she's not a healer, doesn't mean that she's not connected. I don't believe that to be the case. And she has evidence of her healing ability without the sensory experience. What did I want to say about that? So she has an attachment to how it should happen. So I'm just going to read this note. That's a great realization. Being the connection already, maybe there's nothing else to see, hear, feel. Great lesson. Maybe, right? I mean, like, I'm no oracle. I don't know the answer, but I'm listening to her and I'm hearing everything she's saying. And this is a connected spiritual woman that has a natural ability to heal. And she's super frustrated and like feels so held back in her life because she's not doing what she feels that she knows she was meant to come here to do, because she's waiting to have this experience. And so she's totally blocked. And the thing is, and I really understand this, we hear the stories of the people that have their spiritual awakening, and in their spiritual awakening, they see their guide or they hear their angels, or there was this light explosion or these feelings in their body, and oh, they're awakened, they get it. That was their moment. We hear these stories and yay, like yay to those stories. Love those stories. I have a few stories like that myself. Not many though. I mean, for me, my spiritual connection, my knowingness that I'm connected to source is really developed. It's developed over the years as I've allowed it and practiced. You know, I've just allowed and practiced. I've allowed my heart to be open, and I've allowed myself to have my own experiences, and I've let go of the need for this sort of Hollywood fireworks display, this sort of visual felt display. As time has gone on, I mean, actually, I know I'm connected to source and I'm hitting on a truth when I get tears in my eyes, whether it's a truth for me or a truth for a client. The tears hit me, and I just know in my body that I'm connected. I know that what I'm receiving, that kind of feels like it's coming from my brain, and yet I feel the information and the flow of information coming through me is it's like it's just truth, and I am just the vehicle from it. So yeah, I get some tears sometimes, but that's quite a new thing. That's only the last maybe 3 or 4 years that's been a thing for me. Before that, did I get anything? I've had the occasional experience, but mostly I don't get a lot. Usually, and well, always, it's I just know, and I just trust my knowing. And that faith and trust is a huge piece when it comes to our spirituality and our spiritual connection. Yeah, Layla gets some vibrations and tears. Yeah. Um, so interesting. Exactly who sets what that experience is. Exactly. I've always felt a little foolish when it happens. That's a revelation. Oh, great. Yeah. Knew I needed to be here to hear this. I'm often waiting for something and don't even know what that something is I'm expecting, right? Exactly, Carolyn. So, you know, we sit in meditation, or whatever it is, like we go for we're doing our spiritual practices and we're waiting to have this feeling. And unless we get the feeling and the experience, we believe to be not connected, or maybe even like not as good enough or not as spiritual as her or him. And we layer these self-imposed expectations on what is actually, if we could just strip it back for a second, just you sat there as you, just me sat here as me. I am, you are a spiritual being. There's nothing else to say about it. You don't need the light show. You don't need the sensory sensations. You are a spiritual being. You consciously, intentionally choosing to open your heart and allow yourself to be in receiving mode, that receiving state. You are a channel to receive, and for the flow to come through you, whether you're meant to hear something or share something. You don't need a light show to prove it. But we block ourselves from being who we came here to be and enjoying the stillness and the peace and the connectedness with ourselves because we're waiting for something to happen. We're on high alert looking for it. We're trying hard to get the experience to make it happen. And all of these things are blocking us to having the experience that is actually the truth of who we are and our birthright. Just you being you, choosing to allow your energy to open up into a receiving state is connection. And we do this with so many things. We don't just do it with our spirituality. It's like my invitation to you today is to just take a look at where in your life, what areas and aspects of your life are you waiting for the perfect set of circumstances to occur for you to be able to move forward to the next thing? How do you think something needs to look? Or what timeline have you set for something that your mind has just decided that's when it needs to happen? Like, where are you putting your, where are you allowing your humanness to set rules and to create expectations for how things need to happen, instead of just trusting the moment and allowing it to happen? Does that make sense? Carolyn's asking, which part of me feels I need to see confirmation is a question I'll ask myself. That's nice. Which part of me feels I need to see confirmation? And also, how is it serving me to wait for this or not? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love that. Thank you, Carolyn, for, yeah, Layla's agreeing. Yeah. So where are you holding yourself back in your life? Where are you playing small? Where are you not showing up, not putting yourself out there? I mean, this woman, she knows it's her birthright to be a healer, and she's not out there practicing it because she says, I can't practice my healing until I know and have proof and evidence that I have a spiritual connection. And so she's frustrated and miserable, and she feels trapped. And it's like a soul death because her soul knows what she's here to do and she's not doing it. So she feels soul destroyed because she's waiting for this thing to happen that she's just decided. If we could just let that go, if you could let that go, which area of your life would flourish? I need to be more confident to do XYZ. Maybe just let that go and go try it anyway. I need to have a bigger following to go for XYZ. Let that go and go after it anyway. I need to have more trainings under my belt. I need to have finished all my personal development work before I can log on to internet dating. So that's a big one. I need to be perfect. I need to be completely healed. What even does that look like before I can write my internet dating profile? What are your own self-imposed limitations? How are you holding yourself back? Because we just make this stuff up. We make it up. And whatever the thing is, that the area of your life where you know you're playing small, or you're restricting yourself in some way, you're not going after what it is you really want. Maybe you're not even giving yourself permission to dream about the thing that you really want. I find our humanness needs a little bit of help, right? Because it's in our humanness that we're blocked. And so it would help our humanness, it would help our mind to actually witness people doing what we want to do, or having what we want to have, or feeling the way we want to feel. So find your role models. So one of the homework pieces I've given this client is to go find your role models, go find the people out there who are doing the healing work and who are the communication channel between the animal and their owner. Who are those amazing people? By the way, if you know any of those amazing people that are the communication channel between owner and pet, owner and horse, can you comment in here and say who they are to help my client? Can you put their Instagram handle or their Facebook page or their website, throw it in? If it's you watching this, if you are that person, can you share yourself here? Because she needs a role model. And we all need our role models. My husband and I are looking at doing some training together, and we're on the lookout for our own role model right now. Somebody or a couple even who demonstrate what we're moving towards, to prove that it's possible, to be our mentors, to inspire us, to help us overcome any humanness so that we can do the work we came here to do. So that might help too. Carolyn's rumbled. I'm not sure why I've rumbled you, but I like it. All right, my darlings, I must go because I have a call. But I really, really hope that if you're meant to hear this today, that you were here and you've received it with the love that it was meant. And if you know anybody that needs to hear a message like this today, please do share this video with them. If you're not already following me on Instagram at Katie Phillips with Love, come on over there because our other Instagram's shutting down in September. I'm going on holiday now for 2 weeks and I will be sharing, I'm sure, I can't help myself, plenty of pictures from Greece. But I will see you when I get back. And on my return, we'll be very close to beginning my next 5-day. No, not even. That's later. My 3-day festival's coming up. I'm looking at my calendar over here. On the 19th of September, my Love Fest is back. So I'll be telling you more about that when I get back. I can't wait to share that work with you again. And yeah, I hope you're having a lovely summer wherever you are. Annette, I'm so glad that was helpful. Thank you, Carolyn. I intend to have a fabulous time. I can't wait. All right, darlings, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you soon. Love you loads. Ciao, ciao.